G'day patrons, happy very late Saturday or maybe Sunday morning, depends when you watch this. What a week it's been. It's kind of been quiet, it's been kind of busy. A lot of rumours, a little bit of other stuff. So Queenslanders are gonna have to put EV tags on their cars, denoting they've actually got a battery in it. What else? They're also going to be getting 16 electric buses. Nicely done. South Australia has delayed its EV distance tax to 2027 and thrown in a little bit of incentive stuff there, but yeah, not that special really. Check this out. EVs can tow. The weekend is ruined. So this is a Model 3 that's got a very special tow hitch on it via a specialist group in America, and it can pull an Airstream caravan which weighs 2,700 kilograms. That's mighty impressive. So for all those three videos, or three things I just said to you rather, I've left links down below as per usual. Upcoming just next week, Cupra has teased its, check this out. Doesn't really show very much, does it? That's going to be the Urban Rebel concept. That's an electric racing car that's set to be launched in 2025. Not anytime soon, is it? And one last thing that I've left just for you guys on Patreon only is in a few weeks' time, Hyundai is going to be talking up its hydrogen technology and what they're thinking and trying to produce for its products. So again, I'll let you links for those beneath, and you'll be curious to see what they believe the future's going to be like. Oh my gosh, I've got something in my eye. Alrighty, yeah, it's an eyelash. It's really hurting. Am I going to cut this bit out? Probably not. Anyway, so the public news for Monday is going to be short, only 3 things plus the announcement of whoever's going to win it. So this is Saturday night. I'm going to just intro that segment, and then I'm going to cut to footage of the Patreon producer call, because they're going to help me actually find randomly who that winner is going to be. And yeah, we'll see what happens, shall we? Alright, let's get into it. On today's show, shipping goes electric, Rivian's spotted in Australia, a limo, and I announce the winner of my giveaway. G'day, my name's Chris, and thanks for clicking on the link. If you're new to the channel, consider subscribing. It honestly does help the channel. But if you want to see more news like this more often, maybe consider joining us over here on Patreon, where from as little as $2.50 per month, you get early access to news, behind the scenes, polls, and a lot more that you just don't get here. And I want to say a big thank you to my producers, Adam Tyson, Alan Burnt, Ashley Hill, Chaotic Media Technology, MN ICT Specialist, Nigel Farrier, and Tessa and the Gong. And I also want to have a big warm welcome to my newest gold level member, Robert Reardon. He's actually been on I think a silver level for a while now, and he's bumped it up to gold. So thank you very much, Robert. And look, also a big thank you to my patrons. So first up, did you know that in a country like Norway, more than 1 million containers are transported by more than 40,000 trucks between Porsgrunn and Brevik every year? This 40-kilometer round-trip journey equates to almost 300,000 tons of CO2. What if it could be done more efficiently by a ship that actually carries 103 containers per load, uses the electricity from renewable sources, of which Norway is quite rich in, travels at a speed of 13 knots, that's about 25-30 k's per hour, and well, here's the big deal. It's all done autonomously. Yeah, autonomously. Well, soon that is. Reported in CNN, Norwegian company Yara Birkeland is scheduled to make its first journey before the end of this year. It will use a 7 megawatt-hour battery and will be the first manned by a skeleton crew to ensure that it doesn't do an Ever Given. Yeah, remember that one? Anyway, they will eventually become fully autonomous, and they'll monitor its movements from 3 offshore data control centers and its whole journey from loading to unloading and everything in between will be done without nobody on board, including actually no one who's going to load it. It's mind-blowing stuff. And it got me thinking, okay, this is only like 20 k's in one journey and not 40 round trip. Why bother? Well, it turns out that shifting to transport to like water, it seems slower and more energy intensive, especially when you're thinking about all those things and even like getting freight to and from ports. But as it turns out, ships handle roughly 90% of global trade, and like nearly 11 billion tons of stuff is shipped every year. Yet, that industry only contributes between 2.5 and 3% of global greenhouse gas emissions. Compare that to almost 12% of road transport. It's clear that if we can shift to renewable energy sources and also move to these massive quantities of products and remove the tens of thousands of truck journeys from our roads, then we'll all be better off. Earlier last week, I reported to my awesome patrons how someone, somewhere, source not very clear, that Rivian might make right-hand drive vehicles for not only the UK but also Australia. I didn't want to report here publicly because I have a policy of not publishing material that can't be substantiated. You know the sort of thing. A source close to Tesla. Yeah, no, doesn't fly here. Well, just 3 days ago, Chasing Cars spied left-hand drive versions of the Rivian R1T dual cab ute and the R1S large SUV at Sydney Airport. These photos, obviously from Chasing Cars, link is below folks, so please do go check out the story, show the 7-seater R1S wrapped in camouflage. It seems that all signs are pointing to that being a thing. Rivian is in talks with the UK government about a potential factory there, and UK has some very good EV incentives, and importantly for us, they drive on the left side of the road with the steering on the right. And these test vehicles being not so secreted into Australia, no doubt I'm really actually thinking this is going to be a thing and bring it on. Check this car out. It looks like a Toyota Camry meets a Kia Cerato. Yeah? Well, it turns out it's a limo by Mobilize. Mobilize who? Yeah, I had to actually look them up myself, and it turns out this company is actually a subsidiary of Renault Group, and they'll be making electric vehicles and energy products, and I guess we have to thank Tesla for making other car companies get out of their comfort zone. This car will be revealed at the Munich IAA Mobility Show and features a single 110 kilowatt motor that's capable of producing 150 horsepower and 220 newton meters of torque with a 0 to 100 k's per hour in a leisurely 9.6 seconds. Limo indeed. Designed for taxis, private hire vehicles and fleet use, the Limo will be available exclusively via a subscription service, which I'm kind of confused about. So does it mean for people who drive them, they effectively lease them? Or is it for users like ride sharing people, passengers in vehicles who actually can subscribe to a service to be driven in these vehicles? It's not very clear from the media release, but I think it's actually the former. So if you actually know, please put it down in the comments below, and yeah, pin it so that everyone actually is better informed on this. A few details of the Limo. Available this time next year, it's 4.67 meters long, has boot space of only 411 litres, so that's not especially big for a taxi or limo. Has flush door handles that pop out when the vehicle unlocks, LED headlamps, a 10.25 inch screen that's used for the instrument panel, whilst a 12.3 version features the center dashboard for multimedia, navigation and more. The Mobilize Limo uses a liquid-cooled lithium-ion battery with a capacity of 60 kilowatt hours or 450 kilometers of range, WLTP pending. So let's just pretend 400 kilometers, shall we? I find it interesting that a car company like Renault is launching a side business like this, which, if I understand correctly, is hiring out its vehicles to professional drivers. The economics must work out, and I hope they succeed, because for every petrol or diesel vehicle that we get off the road, the sooner we can all breathe a bit better, and importantly, the more people can get to experience an EV and start thinking, hey, this is nice. It's electric. Yay. Okay, it's time to announce the winner of the EV Armor Center Console wrap for the Tesla Model 3 and 1 month on Patreon as a producer of my channel. So, to find our winner, we're actually going to do a producer call now where the team is going to help me find the winner. Let's go to that. Well, I do hope you enjoyed the show, and if you did, maybe consider subscribing. It's absolutely free. If you want to see more content like this, consider joining me over here somewhere for behind the scenes, early access to news, polls, and a lot more. And thank you to my patrons, and thank you to you for watching. Otherwise, please do be good and be green.